When you think of snipers, images from action movies might spring to mind, highly trained professionals executing complex missions from afar. But the reality can be far more terrifying, and far closer to home. If you thought snipers belonged only in movies, think again. The story we're about to delve into proves that the most chilling acts of violence can sometimes come from the most unexpected places. This is the true story behind the Beltway sniper attacks, a series of shootings that terrorized the Washington D.C. metropolitan area in the fall of 2002. It wasn't a foreign enemy or a sophisticated terrorist plot, but something far more disturbing, a calculated and cold-blooded killing spree that brought everyday life to a standstill. At the center of this nightmare was John Allen Muhammad, a Gulf War vet, and his teenage accomplice, Lee Boyd Malvo, a young man molded and manipulated into becoming a lethal weapon. Their relationship was complex, a twisted father-son dynamic that fueled their deadly mission. Together they turned a seemingly ordinary blue Chevy Caprice into a mobile murder weapon, a vehicle of death that stalked the highways and byways of the DC area. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment crime, it was a meticulously planned operation. Their method was as simple as it was terrifying, shooting through a hole in the trunk, allowing them to remain concealed while picking off their targets with chilling precision. This anonymity made them nearly impossible to trace. Their victims were ordinary people going about their daily lives, filling up their cars at gas stations, shopping for groceries, or simply walking down the street. No one was safe, and the randomness of the attacks only amplified the fear. For 3 weeks, fear gripped the streets. The entire region was paralyzed by terror. People were afraid to leave their homes, schools were locked down, and everyday routines were shattered. The pressure on law enforcement was immense. A tip finally led to their arrest. After an intense manhunt, they were apprehended while sleeping in their car at a rest stop. The reign of terror was finally over. The subsequent trial captivated the nation. In court, Muhammad was found guilty, the evidence against him was overwhelming, and the jury delivered a swift verdict. Justice was sought for the victims and their families, and he was sentenced to death. A sentence that reflected the severity of his crimes. After years of appeals, he was executed in 2009, bringing a measure of closure to a long and painful chapter. But the memory of the Beltway sniper attacks remains a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, leaving behind a chilling legacy in true crime history. A legacy that continues to haunt the region and serve as a cautionary tale about the devastating consequences of hate and violence.